We're ready to enjoy some more great Aprilia Superteen action here at Mallory Park. Steve's waiting on the grid. Steve.
Callan Cooper is on pole position for the second Aprilia Superteen race. Can he do the same as what he did in race one? Robin, I'll ask you that question. Chrissy Rouse here, not far off winning that championship. We've got Jake Dixon, third place. He's desperate to get on that podium. Ben Luxton, can he get his first ever podium with Thundersport GB? We go through to the second row. We've got Josh Daly, Joe Collier, Luke Helm and Tom Oliver. The list goes on. Lots of 12 to 18 youngsters that are looking to be future champions.
Yes, indeed. Will one of them be crowned champion after this race, or will it go down to the last rounds in a couple of weeks at Donington? We'll have to wait and see. It could be wrapped up by Chrissy Rouse. Callum Bay is his only real challenger, and Callum, remember, starting on the fourth row of the grid, so he's got a lot of work to do. He did it the earlier race. Could lightning strike again? Well, here they come towards us. Ben Luxton, another good getaway from Ben, but it's Jake Dixon up in second, Callan Cooper third and Chrissy Rouse fourth as they enter Gerrard's for the first time.
Yeah, and Callum Bay made it up to seventh just by Gerrard, so he really is on the ball. He's got to finish this race. He's 62 points behind with 125 available. So Chrissy Rouse is in pole position for that. Callan Cooper leads then from Jake Dixon. Oh, it's a big fight into Edwina's there.
Yep, very difficult corner at the best of times, but at the beginning of the race when everyone's on the same piece of tarmac can be quite frightening. But look at that, Callum Bay just heads that queue. He's in sixth, but here is the leading group. Callan Cooper number 7, Jake Dixon number 35. They head it as they run around Shaw's hairpin and down into the bus stop for the first time. Chrissy Rouse, the championship points leader, in third place, number 55.
Yeah, there's Luke Helm just exiting the bus stop, and good riding here from Joe Collier as well, the ex-youth British Supermoto champion, number 111. There he is, going into Gerrard's just ahead of Ben Luxton, who's looking for another top 5 finish.
Yes, great performance by Joe Collier. He's had some good finishes throughout the year, and if he decides to do this series again next year, I reckon he's definitely one of the tips to the top.
Absolutely, yeah. He's really improved as a rider. He's come on leaps and bounds, and he could well find himself at the top of the points table next year if he attends this championship. But that's the man who's leading this year's. Chrissy Rouse looking to follow in the footsteps of Casey Stoner and Cal Crutchlow, etc. And look at Callum Bay there, just fighting off Joe Collier to move up into fourth spot.
And there, Ben Luxton tucked in behind him, and Josh Daly on the back of that group. But Callan Cooper taking a lump full of curb there. You don't want to do that too often, but still leads this well from Jake Dixon and Chrissy Rouse.
Yeah, we saw Wayne Ryan do that last season at this very circuit, and he didn't end up quite so prettily. So Callan Cooper lucky there, got away with it. You've got to mind those curbs on the exit of the bus stop. Here we're seeing the fight with Callum Bay, Joe Collier. Callum Bay, look at the speed Callum's carrying on the exit of Gerrard's there onto the stubby straight, but the leader is Callan Cooper again from the Isle of Man, the youngster newcomer this season.
Down he goes into Edwina. Look at this lovely fight behind Jake Dixon. Well, we've spoken about Jake a lot over the events this year, and spoken about his particular and peculiar skills when the track is damp and greasy. It seems the more unpleasant the conditions, the quicker he gets, but he's also absolutely brilliant in the dry. And look at this.
Callan Cooper's got a problem there, Robin. Look at that.
That is mechanical. Callan Cooper. Oh, the lights have gone out somewhere on that machine, and through goes Chrissy Rouse and Jake Dixon. So down to the line they go. Rouse, the new leader, Dixon second, and Callum Bay up into third.
I spoke to Callan Cooper's dad actually after the Saturday results, and exactly the same thing happened to Callan in one of the races on Saturday. He won one and then had a DNF, or not through a fall but through mechanical. So I wonder if that problem has risen its ugly face once again.
Leaders come down the stubby straight. Look at this, Chrissy Rouse and Jake Dixon. Chrissy on his 15th birthday. Jake Dixon still just 14. There we see Josh Daly now running behind him, number 88. saw his uncle Paul in the Bridgestone Thundersport 500s.
Yep, there's number 55 then, Chrissy Rouse. He's still a couple of places ahead. There's Josh Daly, number 88. A young rider who's moving into GP2 next season. He's got a bike ready for the next round, and it's a fine bike as well, Robin.
Oh, yes, yes, I believe it has a fine history. Has been raced very hard in the past and really been given a good run around the circuits. Look at that, bouncing across the curb. Some of these Aprilia Superteens are giving their machines a bit of a testing time as well. But up the front, as we see Robin Lindsay there, chasing hard. Is that Aaron Maxfield? I think she's just chasing down through the elbow there. But up the front, Jake Dixon working away, trying to reel in Chrissy Rouse. But what about this performance by Callum Bay, Steve? Fourth row of the grid, he's up in a third, and he's pushing hard.
Yeah, you've got to give Callum credit, because when you saw him qualify in the fourth row, you thought, that's it, championship over. But he's worked so hard to make sure that this championship goes just one more round, because you never know your luck. You've got to finish these races, and he's doing very well. He won't like the fact that Chrissy's leading it, but there's not a lot he can do about it at the moment. Look at this lot going into Shaw's hairpin.
It's half a dozen after you, Claude. No. Oh, good. Oh, and down.
There's one down.
Oh, there was contact there just, and one of them slips out of contention as they charge down the hill. Jordan Hole there, we saw number 99. He was still on board. But
Ross Twyman as well, number 15, another improver this year going through. And Jake Dixon just up the inside there of Callum Bay, who'd momentarily moved up to second place.
I'm just wondering whether that could have been Jack Keane that went down there. 114 appears to have gone missing from proceedings, but Jake Dixon there has to give best, well, to Callum Bay, but has track position. So Callum momentarily again up into second, couldn't quite make it stick, but Jake makes a bit of a mess of the exit of the hairpin there, and Callum Bay up to second.
There's Brad Shaw there, Luke Hale, Max Simmons, Tom Oliver, Luke Buckingham. They're all involved in this massive brawl, and as John Ward would say, there's always great racing at Mallory Park.
Which indeed there is. And cheese and pickle sandwiches. Here they come down through the elbow to complete the lap under the Jordan Road Surfacing Bridge. It's a lovely, huge battle act. It's the second battle really on the track behind the leaders. And look at them. Any one of this lot could end up, well, frankly, they could end up fourth. But the top three still away at the front. Chrissy Rouse and Callum Bay and Jake Dixon heading it. There we see Chrissy and Callum and Jake.
Yeah, brilliant battle. Ross Twyman, Luke Thackeray and Jordan Hole also attached to that group. All battling away for points, remember. And that's the battle for 7th and 8th at the moment. But amazing stuff we're seeing there. There's Chrissy Rouse, then Callum Bay up to second. Jake Dixon nowhere near him this time. Well, he's close to him, but not enough to make a manoeuvre.
And, well, at the moment, Callum Cooper, he set a really quick lap early on in the race, and nobody's bettered that. This lot won't, because they're fighting out every inch of the way.
Buckingham up the inside. Is that going to stick? There's a tail ender in the way as well. They're trying to go four abreast into the bus stop. That just does not work.
Yeah, Luke Helm came out of that in the front, and he's just about holding it from Brad Shaw at the moment.
There's Jordan Hole, number 99, and Ross Twyman fighting it out as well. Well, it's breathtaking stuff all the way down the field.
Last lap. Oh, and down goes number 27, number 17.
Yeah, that's Alistair Deas and James Pickford there, Robin.
A shame. Alistair Deas has been getting quicker and quicker over the last few rounds and having a great battle there with James Pickford. But up the front in the traffic, Chrissy Rouse, well...
he's picking his way through. He's got to be careful. Callum Bay's quickly approaching, and look at this. Callum Bay may have a shot at going up the inside of Chrissy into Shaw's hairpin on this last lap. They've got one more to deal with.
They can't afford trouble. Nobody can afford to fall off at this stage of proceedings. They've got to finish and score points as Luke Helm, number 51, still heads that amazing battle ahead of 20, Tom Oliver at the moment. There's Robin Lindsay, but here is the leader, the race leader and championship leader, Chrissy Rouse. He's just about done enough, I think, at the end of this one. Checkered flag is out, and is he going to hang on? Well, yes, he does, and he takes the win there by about 0.06 of a second from Callum Bay. Fantastic stuff from Chrissy Rouse, extending slightly his championship advantage over Callum Bay. And Jake Dixon third, and look at this mob. I mean, honestly, Steve, how many of these guys and girls do you want to in a tight corner. Chrissy Rouse the winner, Callum Bay second, Jake Dixon third, Joe Collier eventually fourth, Josh Daly fifth and Ben Luxton sixth. And there we see Chrissy, Callum and Jake on the podium. Well, there's the standings. Not yet champion. Chrissy Rouse leads it though from Callum Bay, Jake Dixon, Josh Daly, Jack Keane and Callan Cooper. And there the Nitro newcomers, Callum Bay, Jake Dixon and Joe Collier, the 1, 2, 3. And in those newcomer standings, Callum Bay has at last sealed it. He is the 2010 Nitro newcomer Superteen champion.
Race winner, Chrissy Rouse. Chrissy, you're leading the championship and you must be very relieved to get 25 points there. There was a lot of pressure coming from other riders, but a great win.
Yeah, we came in at this meeting just hoping to consolidate my lead. I've managed to do that and increase it by 2 points, so I'm made up. And in that last race, it was like I had to fight for it very badly. Callan Cooper left and when he did that brilliant lap, and I couldn't keep with him. But unfortunately, I had a bit of a problem with his bike and passed him and managed to take the win.